Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Living World of Darkness. This is a crossover scene for the demon, werewolf, and vampire venues that centers in Brooklyn. Tonight is the night where Thomas is opening up the White Hat Society to the public. The new club scene that he has been working on for quite some time. And he has turned it into something of a charity event. Making sure that he is standing by the door before the opening sort of ceremony thing. Greeting everybody that decides to come in. This will, of course, be exploding outward after the sort of opening into a full-scale block party. So, Thomas is sort of, with his bouncer, introducing himself to everybody that decides to show up.
I'll be a little bit daring and be the first one in. From down the street, sort of walking through the line as best he possibly can, like a few hours ago. He seems to want to be punctual for some god-awful reason. But dear old David Spirgle goes ahead and appears on the scene right in front of dear old Thomas. He goes ahead and says, "Hey!"
Hey.
He extends a hand. It's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
You gather quite a bit here, he says, looking back at probably a huge freaking crowd just a few feet away.
Well, that was the goal. Can't really have a celebration without, well, celebrants.
Cool. Just remind me what we're going to be celebrating once you get back inside, because honestly, I couldn't tell you.
It's cool. I'll see you inside.
Point out something interesting to me, he says.
He looks in. Bars over to the left. This is sort of going to be the area where the sort of foam rave happens later on.
He goes ahead and nods. I'll go ahead and sit tight over at the bar and run up the tab. Congratulations, sir. And he's going to walk in.
All right. Anyone else?
A few minutes later, Tal will walk by, we'll stop in front of Thomas. Smile. Thomas, I see you're getting famous.
Well, what can I say? I've been a little busy.
I see you have. Man, you look nice place you've got here.
I hope it will be.
So he'll shake his hand and goes, so I'll see you inside later.
Of course.
Or he'll nod and walk in.
Yo, Tyler, from inside.
David, how are you?
Fantastic. Sit down. Let the next person walk in.
Another person will indeed approach. Woman in her 20s, early 20s probably. She seems to be, yeah, she's not too dressed up, but she looks decent. She seems, she just goes up and will she be stopped at the entrance?
Stop no more than any other. Basically, ID, stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, but yeah, she'll show it, no problem.
And Thomas is standing by the bouncer, basically just smiling at everybody.
All right. Yeah, this person will just look at the bouncer and just see if everything checks out, and if that is the case, then she will enter.
He'll nod. Thank you for coming.
She'll just nod.
Thomas is also arriving at the party, dressed up for this occasion, trying to dress nice. He's really interested in meeting the new face of the mayor. He's heard a lot of complaint about the mayor, and he wants to see who's actually supporting her in all her beneficiary deeds. So he decides to show his face somewhat, hopefully not being caught. And he probably, yeah, if he needs to pay money, it will take a while. But he'll get the money together and then walk in.
It's only like $15. It's barely a 20. You know. What? You're still robot.
I know. I was saying I don't have a lot of money. So he just comes in and looks for the host.
Well, you can see Thomas. When you walk up, he's by the bouncers. You can see Kincaid rather.
Right.
Hmm?
Okay. He'll look around and walk towards you. Can I get close before I get stopped?
You'll be stopped by the bouncer waiting to see like your ID to get in. He's at the entrance greeting everybody coming in. What?
He wants to see my ID. Okay. I show him an ID.
Okay. And he takes your cover charge. Thomas looks at you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having such a simple man such as I.
You're welcome. Everyone's welcome here.
So I've noticed. Thank you. And he'll walk in, look around if he sees anyone that he knows, and he notices Tyler, who's been talking to for quite some time lately. He walks over to Tyler.
Rev, how have you been? So, Robati, what was that?
I said I was as curious as you. That's why I came here.
You notice David is going to go ahead and put his elbows on this little, like, I imagine a glass bar with some very, very bright neon light underneath it to give that, like, glow. And he's going to lean forward so that the Rev can see him just beyond Tyler. He just goes ahead and, like, gives a very small wave. Sup?
The inside, seeing as a majority of you were actually there, the inside is actually not very modern.
Oh.
Like, not chrome and glass and everything. It seems very reminiscent to like old style, almost old style speakeasies, but on a grander scale.
So we're talking oak, we're talking wooden furnishings, we're talking like ornate carvings and all that other good, wonderful nonsense.
Yes.
Do
No
the
mood
stools spin? That is my question.
Yeah, sure. They spin.
Thank you.
No mood lighting, but Rev will look at you and say, I think I've seen you before.
Once more. Say it once more.
I think I've seen you before.
You looking towards David?
Yep.
He goes ahead and nods. Yeah, we had a bit of a barbecue back in do what's her name again?
Amelia?
Yes, Amelia's place.
Right. You're with that black guy with wingtip shoes.
Yeah, you can go ahead and like say that like that. But it's nice to see you again. I apologize for not seeking you out earlier.
That's okay. I've been busy.
As have I. But that doesn't mean we can't be good neighbors.
That's right. Well, you're still welcome in the Bronx.
He's going to go ahead and let that laugh sort of go ahead and lay there as he goes ahead and takes a small little shot to himself and grimaces.
Sure.
A man appears at the door and shows ID. Enters. A man enters at the door. He shows ID, nods at Thomas, and enters. If it's not a problem.
I'm sorry. I have you all the way up, and I cannot hear you.
Okay. The man appears at the door. This individual.
Uh-huh.
And he enters he shows his ID.
Yep.
It's legit, and then he enters.
Okay. Like everyone else, he's greeted by Thomas. Thank you for coming.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
And I can't think of anything more clever, so I'll just go with the thusly dubbed Mary will probably show up, driven by one of her extended family, and we'll hop out of the car and probably be seen briefly reassuring the driver, and is unusually well dressed tonight because, let's face it, she doesn't get many excuses to put on anything nice. And she will come to the door, and seeing the process that's going on as each person enters will, by the time she gets there, have her ID out and certainly an understanding expression on her face as well as the cover charge in hand. And we'll probably just offer it over and see what kind of reaction she gets.
I mean, she's over 18, but she's not quite 21. So, like normal, what winds up happening is the bouncer will take her card and sort of take out this big black Sharpie and draw these black X's on the back of her hands.
Mm-hmm. She will, in fact, offer them up as soon as he goes for the marker.
Oh. And then just inside is Thomas.
And so once she is thusly markered and has her ID tucked away again and cover charge passed over, she'll take that step or two and pause long enough to nod and offer a light smile.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting us. And she'll scoot on in and kind of take a glance around, see if there are any even remotely familiar faces. Which there are, if only very remotely. And in light of that, she'll gravitate towards the bar and the line of people who are set there.
All right. Um, I'd say some time goes by, and Thomas will sort of disappear from the head of the entrance, and after a while, the music will sort of dim down, and the lights will focus on this big stage. Um, as the light focuses on the big stage, Thomas will be walking out from behind the curtain towards a microphone. Test. Hello, everybody. Before we begin tonight, I just want to take a moment and I want to thank you all for being here. The city of New York has been my home all of my life. It's where my parents grew up. It's where I grew up. It's where I've sort of embraced this new lifestyle. But the city is not without its hardships. If you look around the room, you can see probably one or more individuals that have been affected by everything that has gone on, some of the recent tragedies that have occurred, fires and killings. It's almost as if people, some individuals, would like to see us live our lives in terror. But I want to come here today and I want to tell you that that shouldn't be the case. Because if we allow these certain individuals to cause us to be scared of our own home, well, then they're doing their job. But if instead we choose to come together and choose to look to our brothers, our sisters within New York City as a whole, then they shouldn't be able to shake us. So in coming here tonight, I want to let you know that you have proven to be unshakable. You understand that there is a necessity to come together. But also there is another point to this. We come together today specifically to thank everyone that has sacrificed for the well-being of this city. And no one has sacrificed more than those individuals that choose every day to put on a uniform, to serve the law, to serve you. So that is why tonight, everything that you choose to spend your money on, whether it be the food that is coming the drinks that are not going to run out. Even by choosing to come here, you are donating to the New York Police Department. And I want to be the first to thank, and I know there are some Leos out there tonight. I want to be the first one to personally thank you for your service to the city. So that's it. Everyone, have fun. Drink. Be merry. Be together.
Anybody applauding?
Yeah, it's time for applaud.
The man is applauding. He's like, "Hell yeah!"
David will go ahead and give several congratulatory claps towards it.
I'm sure there are other people, JC JC informed me that the guest list, the VIP guest list, and the guest list in general would be quite varied. So
Maeve will be doing just enough clapping to not stand out in the crowd.
I will look to sure. Haven't we met before?
Sorry, was you looking at me?
Yeah. Because they were in a bar together, not sure I will remember. Because there was a lot of things happening.
There were a lot of shenanigans, but yeah, Maeve Mary will take a cursory glance and look thoughtful for a moment, and then smile and nod. Yeah, I think I remember you and him, pointing out the Rev, and
David is still looking out into the stage and simply going to comment to himself. Tyler will probably catch him. You know, he does much better with spoken word than he does on print.
Link.
And he'll say, "Oh, yes, that bar. Well, things nearly got out of hand that night. I'm glad everyone could go home safe."
I had said that when he was saying, "Haven't we met?" she nodded and then pointed out that the Rev had been there as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, she'll nod. Well, I am glad that I remember you as one of the people we were talking to instead of one of the people making a scene.
Well, I rarely make a scene unless it's absolutely necessary. And even then, I try to avoid it.
The Rev scrapes his throat, remembering something he couldn't, and looks for a good glass to fill with food.
A man who is being quiet goes near Emily.
Of course he does.
He does, of course he does. Miss Stevenson, it's been a pleasure. We didn't talk for a while.
If anyone is watching, you will see that the person being talked to just stiffens quite noticeably and wholesale
Stiffens
turns.
like a corpse, you might say.
It's more like
Sorry.
It's more like you're on a date, like you're on a really good date, and then you hear your mom's voice behind you, and you don't expect it. Like, "Hi, honey." That's like, oh shit, right?
I'm in trouble.
That's sort of oh fuck, and the reaction you would have to it. But she just turns around, just well, hello.
Carl. Unless you forget my name.
Well, I'm not too sure I got it last time, but thanks for reminding me.
How
So
is everything?
worse now, but I'll get over it.
Don't you enjoy?
No, it was until she just looks at him. Never mind. Why do you have some sort of thing for showing up at the places where I really
How did you guess? I am not
taking way too
trying
much
to.
pleasure in this?
Yeah, I do. Being a creep is more fun than you think it is.
Well, who knows? One day I might
Stevenson,
surprise you, meeting you somewhere. Who
I
knows?
wish you a good party. See you later.
She looks as stone-faced as she was when she got talked to first. She just watches him. Does he leave or does he just walk over and walk?
He walks to somebody else and starts talking.
Okay. If anyone watched this, you'll notice that you don't need to make a perception empathy that someone is startled, at least startled.
Thomas is making his way around, um, but he'll eventually come towards the bar where David and Tyler are.
David look over. So you did good up there, man.
I try.
You you got a way about you. I can understand that.
And he'll order a drink. So how is everybody doing?
All right. Being keeping myself busy with the book and other things.
For me, business just keeps on being business. Day in, day out. Some improvements. Books are getting greener and greener every day.
Sorry I wasn't more of a help with that last thing.
Oh, don't mention it, he says, looking straight at you. Don't mention it. Repeating the word, don't mention it.
I'm going to.
Mention.
You're able to provide whatever support that you were able to, and we appreciate that.
Fair enough.
But that situation is pretty much status quo at the moment. No real big movement.
All right then.
While this slow conversation is happening, Maeve is indulging in the fanciest Shirley Temple. Deceptively fancy. It almost looks like a grown-up drink.
It is fancy.
It is the fanciest Shirley
It
Temple.
it has all the fanciness of like something you would get out of a festival in New Orleans.
Oh Jesus, that's too fancy. That's not fancy. That's gaudy. We've moved past fancy. Unacceptably fancy. She's just
Ostentatious.
happy that there's lots of cherries for her to eat. So fuck it. It's gaudy, but cherries.
Yeah.
Yay!
There's like a strawberry and pomegranate and cherry kebab hanging out of the drink.
Just out of curiosity, out of character, Thomas, does he have fame or anything?
He You've seen him on the news a couple of times. If you watch the news or if you're involved with the mayor a lot,
Oh,
but
well, I might have
not
seen him, but yeah, okay.
yeah. Well, no, he was actually on the TV, on the television. But other than that, I don't think so. Not not yet, anyway.
Well, uh, a a woman will approach Thomas.
Hmm.
Again, to the description, she's taken off her clothing. She has like a sort of a tank top on. You can tell that this woman she's probably been a swimmer when she was young or something.
Mm-hmm.
She's fairly she's well built. She's clearly athletic, stretching on her shoulders and arms, just as you can see. But she approaches you. You can see that she looks at you a couple of times and approaches, but not like just straight at you. She seems a bit nervous. And maybe she finally worked up the courage, or who knows. But she will come up to you and just say, um, "Excuse me, do you have a moment?"
Of course, yes.
I just, I'm very recently, I came to the city very recently. I just wanted to say that it's good. There's people like you around.
Well, thank you.
It's a very good speech, and just wanted to thank you for it.
Glad to be of service. Um, my name is Thomas. You are?
Um, I'm Emily, but it's all right. It, I just wanted to thank you, and she'll put out a hand.
And he'll take her hand.
And yeah, it's. I mean, she has used some vitae to appear vaguely human, but you may be able to tell that maybe she has cold hands.
Okay.
But she shakes her hand and just smiles at you. And so what do you was it just on your own volition to start a uh, fundraiser or charity?
Well, yes, actually. This is what started. I had planned to open this club a while ago, but after I heard of the recent budget crisis, I sort of decided to push it back and do what I could for my community.
Oh, all right. That that makes sense.
Um,
Okay.
Apparently, doing such a thing is why the mayor decided that I should head her charity organization before the dawn.
Right. Right. Um, yeah. I've seen them on the television. Um, sorry, what was that?
But that was my dog being my dog.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. I thought it was just yeah. All right. Um,
Peter, meet Tynan. Tynan, meet Peter.
it was just a very weird sound for this guy to make, but um, All right, but she just says, "Well, it's a pleasure to meet you," and she will move along,
Uh,
unless of course you have something else you want.
no. He'll just smile and nod, shake your hand. Okay.
That is a saying. David goes ahead and looks towards Thomas. You feel like bragging a little bit, telling us a story about how you became the face of Before the Dawn.
I guess.
You know what we should do? He goes ahead and points towards Thomas and then points yonder. We should probably get one of those VIP rooms, bring our drinks over there, and just have a long conversation to ourselves.
All
that
right.
what we should do?
Something tells me I'm all right then. What's that roll for?
For listening in on you two.
Ah.
After she's gotten a little away, that was what I was about to say. She's
Oh, okay.
going to listen to the conversation between the two of you, and I would say that she begins to catch at least some.
Probably. I mean, I don't think they're being quiet.
Nope, not
Yeah.
being quiet. This is not the place to be quiet.
The VIP room is a place to be quiet.
All right. Yeah. He'll pick up his drink. Sort of invite David and Tyler off to the side where the VIP rooms are.
Before we go too far, David sauce for a second. Are we forgetting the dear soldier over there?
Dear soldier, what do you mean?
Looks around. Is the red still there?
Yeah, she's with us. I
Yeah,
think.
still
So body.
He's here in body, but he may not be here in spirit.
no, I'm right here.
There we
Okay,
go.
well, David's gonna say, well, extend the invitation to our good old friend.
Do
Sure.
you two know him? And I don't.
Yeah, I know him. Tyler knows him. We know him through the same friend, Amelia.
Ah. Okay. Sir, would you like to come with us?
Sure. Well, he'll just gets himself out of any position he's in. Just stroll along. It's a lot of talking, a lot of people. Reasons.
Sorry,
So we'll walk along.
we just got Angry Robot.
Well, that's his mental state. Angry robot. Lots of sounds people make. Angry robot.
Okay.
So yeah, he'll go along.
They'll get Thomas will walk them to one of the VIP private rooms.
Awesome. This room got
Travel.
cushy sofas, or what?
Yeah, it's one of those things that has circular sofas and stuff like that, and he'll flip a switch in the entrance of the room where a small little almost eye-touched looking thing is exposed on the wall, and he'll push in a few clicks and some low volume electro swing starts to play.
Very nice. David, for his part, is gonna get comfy on one of those sofas, holds his drink in his hand, take another sip.
There's a small little bar over to the other side. So,
I was half sit, half lay kind of thing on the sofa. Not sure if Mary followed us, or because she was right next to us, so she was like in the group. So up to you. But this, or if, or well, depend on if this was supposed to be a dim thing only talk, or what.
did Mary follow? Or no?
She was not specifically invited in any way, so if anything, as they all got up, she would have just kind of idly waved and become somewhat more introverted because they're the only people she recognizes. But she's not going to, like, try to follow along without an invitation.
Alright. So I assume once they get in there, Thomas's demeanor is going to change. He becomes sort of wary. Not cautious, but at the same time, there's a little bit of suspicion that sort of creeps into his expression.
Okay.
We'll walk over to the bar, sort of increase the amount of alcohol that is in his glass slightly. We'll look over to the two of you. So,
You mean the three of them?
well, he's looking over at Tyler and David.
Dave, for his part, is just as disarming as you could possibly go ahead and make a stone-faced bastard.
I'm going to roll for the rev. Is he on your soul chain?
What are you rolling?
If you subtly change, he has no idea.
Oh no, he's open about it. It's not like he's he's openly like, okay, what's going on here? And that's exactly what he's gonna say to Tyler and David. A friend of Amelia's.
Yeah. Goes ahead and points to the Rev. Explain you the relationship. If you want to.
Well, let's just say she's my
Your protege.
elder.
Amelia is your protege?
Yes.
Interesting. And who do I have the pleasure of... Shh. Tiny. Who do I have the pleasure of addressing?
You may call me the Rev. And he looks at you. He's distrusting you more and more. Since you're the one new in town and he's not. And he's like, so.
What? Sorry, you went robot.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I know. He looks at you distrusting since you asked who he is. Well, he considers himself to be here earlier.
I've heard of you.
Okay, nothing bad, I hope. He grins.
Don't necessarily know. I'm a little new to all of this.
So, what have you heard?
You're involved with the Court of Sin.
Well, let's just say that there is a court in town, and since there was no court, I'd rather be part of a unit than be a swimming fish.
I see. And does the Court of Sin have any particular interest in what I'm doing here?
Thomas makes weird noises.
No, it's Tynan being.
Sorry, a lot of that dropped off when you talked. You asked if the Court of Sin had anything what?
I believe the question was, does the Court of Sin have any interest in what I'm doing here?
Ah, well, not that I know of, but I'm not much of a talker most of the time, so I don't ask questions. I'm sure they're happy you're staying out of the Bronx with all your shenanigans.
I'm sorry, what was that? Like, oh, see, I didn't hear you.
Rev?
Sorry, I guess nobody picked it up. I said I am sure they are happy you stay out of the Bronx with most of your shenanigans.
Shenanigans. I guess that's one way to describe it.
If you have another word, please share.
I No, that's all right. Consider my actions how you will.
To be honest, personally, I consider them neutral because I protect what is mine for as much as I can, which I consider Amelia to be part of, and the Bronx to be part of, as much as for the entire court. Like I said, it's the only unit in town, and I'd rather be part of it.
Ah, I will be sure to stay out of the court's way. Make sure no one steps on any toes.
I hope I will stay out of your way as well. I do not necessarily know when or if our paths will cross again at this point. I won't stop what I do.
Excellent. For now.
David's gonna go ahead and speak up. Are you satisfied? Can you go ahead and loosen up a bit, man?
Me?
Yeah.
Of course.
I apologize. I didn't realize this would be a proper introduction thing. I just want to drag you all over here to hear a funny story.
All right then. What's the story?
Oh, to hear the funny story of you becoming the face of Before the Dawn.
Oh,
Although with present company, it's up to your own discretion.
not much to it actually. I proposed this charity event, and Merflick's response was to offer me a contract.
Okay. It's a good contract.
I think so. There are several things that I'll be able to do because of it, and there's a lot of information I will have access to.
Oh, really? He goes ahead and cracks an awfully crocodile smile just from beyond his own glass.
Indeed.
The kind of confidential stuff you can't, like, throw around everywhere, right?
Well,
You know, only the most important people get the information they can't give out.
we'll have to see. Right now, I'm just biding my time. I'm playing PR monkey.
And you're playing it quite well. Every so often I go ahead and hear your voice through my radio. But tell me, Thomas, truly, what's the angle here? What are you trying to get out of all of this charity?
I. What am I trying to get out of it? I'm not exactly sure. It seems like a good way to get safe attention.
That is what you want, safe attention, not the full functioning of the charity or the benefit that it gives to the rest of humanity.
It gives plenty. And I'm glad for what it does. And I will try to expand that any way I can. For now, I'm watching, and I'm waiting.
So this is a more of a wait and see, an observer's position than something altruistic.
There are people who need help.
Since you're not doing a whole big speech right here, I'm going to assume some sincerity in those statements.
There is. Sometimes people need a strong guiding hand.
Neve goes ahead and lets that drop for like a third, second, first beat. Guiding hand, you say?
Just out of character. Mary or Katie, is she
Mhm.
still present?
Mhm.
How old does your character look?
She is obvious. Like you don't need to see the X's on the back of her hands to know she's not, a full-grown adult.
Fair enough. Um,
You
I
know
don't
she's
want
at
to.
least 18 or she wouldn't be in there.
Still, I mean, Emily would probably approach you at some point, and just you can notice. You notice this woman. I mean, she's more built than normal, than you would expect, but she does she does seem to look at you a bit and just looks a bit more, just looks a bit even more, and she just
Is she like doing this where she's blatantly visible? Like giving me the
she's
creepy
a
face?
no, she looks more concerned or weird. She maybe looks like she has a question, but she's not really answering it. At some
And
point, she will
how
come
close
closer
is
and just
she? Okay.
she will come and just excuse me, aren't you a little and she shakes her head and just said, uh, are you here by yourself or you're
Yep, pretty much.
oh, all right.
Most of the people I know just went off to have a talk or something. I don't know. Business talk type stuff.
Oh, the guy gave the speech?
Uh, he's actually the one I haven't met before.
Oh, all right. Really. So, so what's your name?
Mary.
A hand will be presented, and she'll just Emily. Um,
She will accept the hand and offer a polite little smile.
you, don't take this the wrong way, but aren't you a bit, I mean, a bit young? I mean, I don't think you're 21. I mean, just most
So,
people here seem to be coming for the drinks, but I don't know.
so all things considered, and having just shaken her hand, she'll just kind of turn her hand a little bit. It's very clear that there's the big black marker X's on the back of them. Nope. Fancy kids drinks. But I have been doing some of the charity work with the city lately, and the same invitation was extended to all of us, and I wanted to see. It seemed nice to have a chance to go to, fancy party.
Right, right,
Meet someone who's been on TV, all that cool stuff.
right. What's the worst that could happen, right? And you get a smile from Emily that's just like, which is not not comforting in any way. And it's like she just like looks at this very young girl and just thinks her to herself a little bit. Just don't go along with anything. Well, just don't go along with everything these creeps say. All right, you know. Some of these assholes. I mean, they're a little. They're quite. You know. She looks around and she's obviously not comfortable speaking about this, but she seems concerned.
Well, they seem nice.
Yeah, they seem nice. They don't stay nice.
What makes you say that?
Well, I know a few people who are seem very nice, but they're not. There's as if you're here by yourself, no one to look out for you. Just be careful. It's just,
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, I have a friend of mine back at the car, but
hmm,
this
oh,
is a
that's
little too, I guess, hoity-toity for him to really feel comfortable in. So,
well. I mean, sometimes some men can appear quite charming and good and all is well, and then yeah, then suddenly find out that they're not so nice. And just you know, be careful. It's just a suggestion.
and she kind of tilts her head initially, as if it's only just occurring to her what Emily's angling at there. And there's a very fleeting kind of blank look, and it like that. Oh, followed by like the slow, understanding nod. I see what you mean. I'm
Yeah,
not too worried. I don't imagine most of them have time for me, anyways. I mean, she kind of gestures off in the direction they all went.
she looks and just
They didn't invite me for a nice walk down a dark alley, so yay.
well, that's
Somebody
yeah,
called
that's
Thomas's VIP room a dark alley.
Hey, when three full-grown gentlemen invite you down this nice dark hallway, I mean, come on. That's what we
yeah.
call ambush alley,
It's
sir.
Emily
the
at
VIP
that
room, not the champagne room.
at that comment like they're not inviting me down a dark alley. Emily will just say, "Yeah, that's way too cliche." I mean, no one would ever. I mean, yeah, that's
Oh, I'm sure someone has to have done it because it wouldn't be a cliche if a lot of people hadn't done it to the point where it became a joke.
right, right. So you're waiting for your friends? She says a bit.
I figured it seems kind of silly to get all dressed up and come this far and then just turn around and go home. So I'm having my fancy bubbling, well, juice. And hmm, she shrugs.
All right. I mean, you say you're using all your time on volunteer work or what?
Most of it, yeah. And when it's not for the city, it's for my own community. So that's where most of my time goes.
Your own your own community?
Oh, neighbors, family, all those people that live with and around. Most
All
people would
right.
say, I guess, like your neighborhood, but we span pretty far. So community seems like a good word for it.
Right. 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 I mean, that's quite a commitment you have. I mean, hats off. I mean, it's not most people who would be that altruistic.
Well, it takes most of my time, and I don't know, it's worth it. I'm giving back to the people who are giving to me.
Well,
It's work that makes me happy, so I mean, I can't complain.
right, right. So these people you know, I mean, is it just like your friends or colleagues or something?
Not those guys?
Yeah.
No, talk to them in a bar. Bunch of my friends, bunch of their friends, all happened to be at the same place at the same time. All got to talking.
Huh. All right. All right. Have a good. Yeah. Enjoy your bubbly thing. And
I
yeah,
think it started out as a Shirley Temple, but there's construction involved in what's happened to this drink, and it's delicious, but I'm confused. I'm really not sure what it is anymore. I'm certain they've given it a very fancy name, like Bird of Paradise or something. I mean, yeah. She, like, plucks this really skillfully, like, clipped and trimmed leaf or two out of it that have taken the shape of, like, these long curving feathers or something. It's ridiculous.
see that whatever that is, it's a bit too fancy for me, to be honest. But
It's completely outrageous, but, you know, it works.
yeah,
I feel fancy in the way that a 5-year-old playing dress up feels fancy. That's probably as fancy as I'll ever feel, so I'll take it.
well, feeling fancy is overrated. Honestly,
He shrugs.
trust me. She just nods. Well, have a good evening. And
You too.
Emily just looks at her and yeah, she bids her farewell and she begins to leave the scene.
Back
We
in
got a
the
little ways.
Back in the VIP room, David goes ahead and continues, and I swear, Saturday morning coming up, I was completely, like, out of it and plastered. Walked over to Pete, went ahead and touched the client's equipment. Bam! It was complete and done.
You touched the client's equipment? Do you know you got that close to your clients? And he'll just bow.
I'll admit, I walked into that one. Looking over to Thomas. But yeah, congratulations, Thomas, on attaining the position that you have gotten. To be honest, I wanted to check you out, see what all this was about before and after the drinks.
Fair enough. Well, it should be continuing for quite some time, so have fun, guys.
We'll try to. As far as that business with a shipping container, I'm still looking in on it. It might prove to be very, very fruitful.
I hope so. What was that place?
Egypt.
How did... Okay. Okay.
As far as I can tell, some enchantment, some artifact, lost time, rediscovered by a paramilitary group, started using it. And as far as what we found there, no idea. None whatsoever.
Any idea what this paramilitary group wants?
My guess? Just to keep things status quo. Whatever was going on in that ritual chamber, they were trying to stop it, I assume.
Interesting.
I don't know exactly what happened, but I haven't seen any of those infected people walking around ever since we took care of that business. So I assume it's cleared up. Hopefully it's cleared up.
Have you seen Yosef anywhere around since then, or no?
I haven't been looking for Yosef. I assume he's still at that bar, serving piss-poor drinks. Nothing like this. He goes ahead and raises his glass.
We'll see.
In any case, I can see that they're about to get the bubbly and the foam all started, so I think I'm going to go ahead and disappear into that. You guys are going to go ahead and put his fantastic glass on that little sidebar and walk towards the exit of the VIP.
Tell it will look to Thomas before going. Thomas, well, and the Rev goes, if there's one thing I've learned of out of everything that's happened to, well, us is you really got to read the terms and conditions before agreeing to what you when you sign up to something.
Of course.
That's small, but well,
My father's best friend is now the head of the family's law firm. My interests right now are his interests. Or actually, it would be better to say his interests at the moment are my interests.
very well. Well, I wish you luck in your business.
Thank you.
And he'll begin to leave, and we'll probably smile and wave to Mary as he leaves.
Is he heading all the way out?
Yep. Oh well, unless she stops him, but if she goes to interact, he'll stop.
She'll, at the very least, perk up when she recognizes who it is, and when he waves, we'll offer, the little energetic wave back. Not over enthusiastic with the little rapid wave.
Yeah. He'll leave. I noticed.
All right.
Little do we know that we left the devil with the fiend, and thus a conspiracy started.
We didn't get angry robot. We kind of got sad mopey robot there.
Like I said, the others leave, he does not.
Hmm?
When the others leave, the Rev does not.
The Rev leaves as well, or what? I'm confused. What?
When the others leave the VIP area, Rev does not.
He stays behind. He lingers.
Did you have anything else you wanted to discuss?
Yes.
What is that?
I want you.
I'm sorry, Jesse. What was that?
Yeah, sorry. When it breaks up, I'll just stop talking, so that's why I get half sentences.
Okay.
When you're done with your goal right now involving this charade, come visit me in the Bronx. Maybe Corsin can find new work for you.
We shall see. It depends on how long. This depends on how long this stops being, for lack of a better term, fun.
Whatever you will say, rough, distant smiles. We'll figure it out. And then he leaves.
And unless anybody has anything else that they want to do, I think this is a perfect place to end the scene.
That works for me. Maeve's gonna linger around and listen to the conversations that happen, and they eventually wander out.
David's in the phone, having a ban alpine.
All right. Well, we thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Thank you, Amachan, for bringing that mysterious individual. This has been a scene for the Living World of Darkness, a crossover scene. Wherever you are, have a good evening, a good night, and we'll see you again.